This is RSN, Rangers Sports Network, presented by Progressive. It is baseball time in Texas.
High in the air out to right. It is gone. Here comes Nemo. Game over. Really swinging. That ball's well struck. A laser of a home run by Langford.
It's pandemonium here at Globe Life Field.
Down the right field line, and that one's gone. Back here in Arlington, the Rangers home after a 500 road trip to Kansas City and Boston. And Rangers baseball tonight presented by Choctaw Casinos and Resorts. It is the first of three over a four-day stretch. Rangers and Twins here at the Globe. All right, welcome in, everybody. Great to have you along with us tonight. It is good to be home. I'm Dave Raymond. He's David Murphy. And the Rangers back after playing 500 on the road. Now they see a Minnesota Twins team perhaps not at its best these days. They've got a guy on the mound pitching about as well as he does anywhere when he pitches here. Perhaps it's a really good matchup tonight.
Well, specifically offensively for the Twins, if you look inside our Choctaw Casinos and Resorts game within the game, offensively they've been struggling recently at the plate. Negative run differential of 40. Mackenzie Gore really good his last two home starts, 14 1/3, .63 ERA, and the whip is the exact same. Overall at home, he has been tremendous. Here's some numbers to go with it. 2.08 home ERA, 5th in the American League amongst starters that have pitched 30 innings. The lefty will look to be at his best today and continue the trend that he has started this season. StatCast 3D, powered by Google Cloud, is going to show you the four-seam fastball, and specifically on the inner part of the plate. Any lefty who can go hard in and soft away is going to have success for the most part. He's not a guy that gets a ton of ground balls, but he can when he goes in. He'll get some fly balls. Either way, let's continue that success at home and win game one versus Minnesota.
It should be critical. These two teams play a lot of low-scoring, close games over the years. Now, the other piece of good news for the Rangers, it does seem like this lineup has taken shape here at home. Learn more about that from Laura next. Rangers baseball on RSN is presented by Progressive Insurance. Step up to the plate for savings. Visit progressive.com. By Prime Day, coming June 23rd through the 26th. And by Choctaw Casinos and Resorts, the official casino and resort of the Texas Rangers.
It always feels good to come home after a road trip. Right now it feels especially good for the Rangers because they are producing offense here in Globe Life Field over the last 6 games in a way that we have not seen from this team over the last maybe, I don't know, year and a half. Take a look here with our Chevy under the hood. Across the board, the Rangers' offensive numbers are up over the last 6 games, but I hope you paid special attention to that home run number. Right now, the Rangers are averaging just about 2 home runs a game. The ball is flying right now in Texas, but it's not just the numbers. The players and the coaches told me that last homestand, even during BP, it just looked like the ball was flying and moving through the air differently, and it did carry over to the games. Now, Skip Schumacher said right now this lineup isn't built around the slug. It is built around small ball and the line drive, so he doesn't want them to change their approach offensively. But it feels good, he said, to watch the ball leave the ballpark at times. Guys, it just has to feel good as well to be playing back at home in a ballpark that feels like it's really working with you.
Especially as the weather gets warmer outside, I guess these guys are getting a little bit more comfortable. We're here in mid-June now, and you take a look at some of those numbers from the Cleveland series, especially that last game before the team went on the road. There was some really good offensive output. There's Mackenzie Gore. He is our Sewell starting pitcher tonight. There you see what he's done in 14 starts so far this season. ERA just below 4.2. 33 walks, 76 strikeouts, 232 batting average against. There's the arsenal for him. 50% fastball, 23% on that curveball, 10% change with a slider and a cutter mixed in.
All right, well, let's see what he will look at tonight from the Twins. Our Trajan Wealth lineup. Minnesota's 33 and 46.5 back in the Central. Austin Martin at right. Buxton red hot, the player of the week in center field. And then Cody Clemens at first. It's Lewis, Josh Bell, and then a kid making his major league debut tonight, Kyler Fedko in left field. Luke Keyshaw, Ryan Kreidler, and then Alex Jackson rounded out.
Here's the defense tonight for the Rangers. Alejandro Osuna will be your center fielder, flanked by Langford and Nimmo. On the corners, Josh Young will be your third baseman. Nicky Lopez, Cody Freeman up the middle. Jake Berger at first base, and Diaz behind the plate. You could say it's a little rascalish up the middle, but then there's Diaz behind the plate, not necessarily fitting that category.
It's all right. We like it. We like to see the guys, the scrappers in there. They have seemed last year and again this year, when the Rangers have kind of had their hand forced to play the little rascals. They just keep producing. They get it done. Austin Martin stands in, and here we go. Gore right in there with strike one, and we are underway. Roof closed. 74 degrees inside. It's 84 outdoors today. A little overcast and humid. They're comfy in here. The next pitch fouled away by Martin. 0-2. A 239 hitter, couple of homers, 17 RBIs. The Twins coming to town after a successful homestand. Martin hits that hard out into left field. That gets down, rolls into the corner, and Martin scrambling out to second base, and there easily with a leadoff double.
Martin kind of a throwback as far as a leadoff hitter goes. He doesn't necessarily hit the ball hard consistently, although it doesn't matter right here. He squares this one up down the line. He's not a guy that really swings a lot or chases a lot, but he does his job as a leadoff man, and he does it right here.
Okay, so he's out there at second for the American League Player of the Week, Byron Buxton. And it's his second this season already. I'll take a breaking ball for strike one. Buxton, 22 home runs this year, 35 RBIs. Having a great year. And when he's healthy and can play every day, as good as there is. And he takes a fastball there for a strike. Our Mercedes-Benz cover every base. You look at Buxton with those 22 home runs, trailing only Yordan Alvarez in the American League. And what a year Alvarez is having too. Gore jumps ahead quickly, the 0-2 pitch, and he gets Buxton to chase. He does strike out Buxton. That's his 73rd time this year.
With as hot as Buxton has been, and if you watched his first two takes, I'm like, is he setting him up for something? But I don't know if he's just not seeing the ball well, because that's a bad chase up and away. Not really going to get the best of Byron Buxton like that very frequently, but that's a big out for Gore.
Yeah, I think every time Buxton comes around, it's sort of where the game really dials in a little bit. Anytime you can retire him, I feel like you've given yourself a much better shot at success tonight. So that's huge to have him down in the dugout. Here's Clemens, left on left. Cody Clemens, and he taps it foul. One ball and one strike. He's never faced Mackenzie Gore, a native of the Houston area, son of Roger Clemens, and he's been used all over the diamond this year by Minnesota. He's played first, second, left, right, and center. 1-1, and that's dribbled foul. So strike two on Clemens. Martin, he has 8 steals this year, but he's also been caught 5 times. So I don't know what to make of his base running. But he does have speed. He takes a lead, and there's a swing and a pop-up. Right behind the plate. Diaz doesn't have to move very far. 2 away. That's nice. A convenient second out.
A convenient matchup, left on left. Although lefties surprisingly been seeing Gore pretty well this year. Just a shade under an 800 OPS against him in those type of matchups. But you had mentioned Clemens never facing him before, so there's an obvious advantage there for Gore, a hard thrower, excuse me, from the left side.
All right, so now he'll go to work on Royce Lewis. And the first pitch, it's away from him a little bit there, ball 1. Lewis hitting .211 with 6 home runs. Today getting the start at third base, which is a bit of a departure for him this year. He's been over on the other side of the infield. 1-0, and he'll pull that just foul. Boy, a foot or so the other way, and that's the first run of the game. So a break there, perhaps. 1-1 the count. Lewis on a 7-game hitting streak. Gore's 1-1 pitch. That's outside and low. So McKenzie allowed that leadoff double. 2 pretty nice outs to get him back in control of the inning, but he needs 1 more yet. And boy, the quick start, so important tonight. That one looked good. A bit high. 3-1. 15th start of the year. He's 27 years old. Rangers acquired Gore in a huge trade in the offseason from the Nationals. It's 3-1 pitch, and that one misses high as well. So he has walked Lewis. And that's part of the story with McKenzie. A lot of times is the number of walks that he'll force himself to work around. So a couple of men on now for Josh Bell. And you see a number there on Bell, that road batting average of 195. Certainly not all that flattering. Switch hitting DH. He takes one off the plate. So Gore, and those aren't, some of these aren't real close misses either. That one by well over a foot.
Almost seems like he's a guy that really needs to get comfortable in that first inning. You want him to get through this first with a 0, and he just gets better as the game goes on.
Our first ABS challenge, powered by T-Mobile. So Josh Bell, the Twins usually pretty aggressive.
Minnesota has 1 count remaining.
That was a strike, so Minnesota loses a challenge. Well, that's helpful for Gore. And there's a swing, and that ball is lifted deep out to left field, and that one is gone. Bell's 8th home run, and it follows a walk, which adds to the damage. A 3-run shot has the Twins out front quickly tonight. A local kid comes back and burns his childhood team.
You see the hand on the side of the baseball. Here's the breaking ball. Same pitch that Martin hit for a double. You were thinking after the ABS challenge that things were going to start to turn Gore's way. Now Martin hit a double on an 0-2 pitch, and then the walk to Lewis. Those were the 2 base runners that were set up for Bell. It's just unfortunate that Gore was not able to make a pitch there.
Well, that is a big swing early on here tonight. Now Kyler Fedko making his big league debut. On a 1-strike pitch, he'll take right on the outside corner. 26-year-old who has never been all that highly regarded by any of the those prospect followers and whatnot. And he lays off pitch just off the plate. Has his major league debut patch right there on the shoulder. It's a great story, though, the way he forced himself to the big leagues. A lot of hard work. The 1-2, and he swings and misses. A strikeout victim tonight in his first big league at bat. It gets Gore through the first inning, but Minnesota has the first runs of the night on the Bell homer. When we come back, it's going to be up to this lineup to do some damage today. Peterson, Josh Young, and Wyatt Langford coming up.
Yours.
Well, the challenge pretty clear for the Rangers. Down 3 runs in the first inning. So off we go now. Let's see how it plays out here. Our Trajan Wealth starting lineup for the Rangers. Jack Peterson leading it off and DHing. Young after him, and then Wyatt Langford. Middle of the order has Nimmo, Berger, and Osuna. Cody Freeman at second, Lopez at short, and Elias Diaz does the catching and will bat 9th.
Twins will send Mike Paredes to the mound tonight. Just 10 1/3 innings in his major league career, so he's still getting comfortable facing hitters at the highest level. You see the 139 batting average against. Here's his arsenal: 41% four-seamer. He's got a changeup, sweeper, and a cutter. Throws the changeup and the sweeper about an equal amount for his secondary pitches.
Well, he's up high to Peterson with ball 1. So the Rangers down 3-0 right out of the gate. But it's a bullpen day for the Twins. Let's see how that works out. Jock waiting. That one came way in, and that got him like on the knee or the shin. And the Rangers had their first base runner of the night.
Here's the replay for you. We're going to see exactly where it got him. Ooh. Shin, just right below the knee. That's, I mean, for the way that he just tossed his bat, ran down to first, that's an uncomfortable place to get hit, but he just wore it.
So Jock is on for Josh Young. Paredes into the long hold, delivers. That one is in there. Strike 1. Young is 3rd in the league, that 307 average. 8 home runs, 30 RBIs. Also 6th in the league in doubles. He has 16 of those. Strike pitch, that's lined out to right field. And wheeled in by Martin. On the back pedal a couple of steps, but it's the first down of the inning.
Take a look at the Twins defense here. Fedko, as you mentioned, making his debut tonight. He's in left, Buxton's in center, Austin Martin's over in right. It'll be Royce Lewis, Ryan Kreidler, Luke Keyshaw, and Cody Clemens in the infield left to right. Alex Jackson will do the catching for the Twins tonight.
Well, this rookie Paredes gets 1 out, and he gets Langford to roll down to first base. They'll throw to second for 1, and Langford able to beat it out and avoid the double play. So he is on now instead of Jack Peterson, but there are 2 gone. 3-6 put out at second base.
Cue ball off the end of the bat for Langford. Looks like there was some lateral movement there with the funky spin that he put on it. Langford, as we know, he runs well and is able to stay out of the double play.
So now Nimmo. And first pitch from Paredes. That one, this is well off the plate. Nimmo at 257 with 7 home runs. He's picked it up a little bit here lately. And that one is right in there for a strike. 1-1. Nimmo today handling the cleanup duties. The Rangers really balanced the lineup today, I think, just because they're going to see all these arms out of the bullpen. Oh, one lefty, no, rather 2 lefties in that. There's a swing and a miss. Strike 2 on Brandon. So there are all the left-handed hitters are spread out in the lineup. The right-hander Paredes trying to make it a scoreless first. There it goes. Pitch is high. Throw down to second base. Well ahead of Langford, and they got him. Langford is saying, well, you can check that one on replay, but the throw beat him by a mile. Skip Schumacher just wants to confirm it before he lets the inning go. And they're going to challenge. Okay. You know, it is an interesting thing. Here we go. Alfonso Marquez will let us know the obvious.
Texas is challenging the alcohol at second base.
So, well, let's take a look.
Well, Kreidler, your shortstop, does a good job of picking this ball, but it does look like he misses the tag. Wyatt does a really good job of keeping that toe right on second base. It was one of the more difficult things to do when you're considering picking a ball clean out of the dirt. You're working from the ground up, so that glove is working uphill. Maybe not so much, though. He's able to stop it right there at the peak of where he catches it, bring the glove down, but just does not catch Langford's leg on the initial swipe.
You hear the fans reacting as they get a couple of looks here on the big board. Looks like that is
After review, the call is overturned. The runner is safe, and Texas will retain their challenge.
Well done. A stolen base, 4th of the year for Langford, and what a great challenge. Really good work. Keep the inning going, and Nimmo bats with the man in scoring position.
I'd love to know like the percentage when a player like points to the dugout and basically like signaling, hey, you need to challenge this. How often they're right, because I know it's a gut reaction and it happens so frequently whether they're right or not. But Langford was correct there and pointing to the dugout saying, hey, take a look at that one.
New life in the 2-2. Nimmo strikes out swinging, and the inning is done. And a shot there, little extra shot, but nothing doing. A 10-pitch half inning. So we will go to the second inning back here in Arlington. It's 3-0 Twins.
Arlington.
Well, just when the Rangers lineup looks like it's starting to get back to normal, of course something bad has to happen, and it did happen to the Rangers' best player, Corey Seager, who was placed on the 7-day concussion IL today, backdated, so he will be eligible to come off on Friday. Now, this did happen during that 3rd game in Kansas City when there was that collision at the plate, and concussions can be finicky, so we'll let you know when he actually does become activated. Now, Josh Smith was activated as the corresponding move. He's on the bench today, but he's coming back from a glute strain, a wrist issue, and that viral meningitis. He does say he feels good to go today, and there's no question he is really excited to be back with this team.
The amount of turnover from an injury standpoint in the last week or so has been insane.
This ball hit hard out to left field. It hits Langford back, and he's able to make the catch. Keyshaw retired, one away. I'm with you. It's been a really busy week on the transaction front for the Rangers, but you know, part of the, I would say in the case of Seager, you just kind of felt it coming.
It's just strange the way you're expecting him to be in the lineup, and he's not. You know, on one hand, you'd think, well, he was able to stay in the game and have some success, so no harm done, right? Well, that didn't end up being the case. Fortunately, maybe a few more days and he'll be back at it. I guess on the bright side, it's good to see Smitty back out there. He's always a boost of energy to this lineup.
Strike pitch here, and Franklin comes up empty 0-2, a 246 hitter. It was good to see him healthy. It was quite a scare with that viral meningitis. Not the type of thing you expect to hear when a player gets hurt. This one is popped up right side of the infield. And calling for it, taking it clean, and he was pretty demonstrative about it. 2 away. Bring up Alex Jackson, ninth place hitter for Minnesota. Mentioned earlier, the Twins are here in Texas after a successful homestand. It was a one-team homestand. They had 3 games against St. Louis, and they took 2 out of 3 from the Cardinals. Close games. He's just swinging a high pop-up out of the right field, and Nimmo will handle it. Right now, there's a good bounce-back inning right there. 6 pitches in the second for Mackenzie Gore. He'll take that. We played an inning and a half. It's 3-0.
More you bring. Jameson, it's what you bring. Official whiskey of Major League Soccer.
Saturday in Boston, Jake Berger achieved what many players dream of, his 100th career MLB home run. As you take a look here with our TXU Energy Power Stats, that was off a 100.8 mile per hour pitch. Jake said that moment meant so much to him because his family got to be there. His wife Ashlyn was there, as well as both of his parents, and he said for him, that's a family milestone. He said in that moment he was thinking back to his dad throwing BP to him in the yard. He said there's not a lot of numbers that he's circled as achievements that he wants to reach in his career, but he said triple digits for homers was one that he definitely wanted because there's a lot of guys who have played 20 years in this league that never get to that number.
AJ Pierzynski, who I played here with in 2013, because a lot of players will, they have fun with it. They'll point out a pitcher that they hit a home run off of and they'll say, oh, this guy's in my book. Well, AJ Pierzynski always told me, until you hit 100, they're just Post-its.
You don't have a book.
You don't have a book.
Oh, man.
Jake Berger now has a book.
Right, congrats.
But by the way, it's impressive enough to hit a homer off a 101 mile an hour pitch, right? And to the opposite field at Fenway Park, big right field. What an incredible at bat. He was just fouling off pitch after pitch and then just took him deep.
1-2 here for Berger. He's averaging 247 coming, and it is a dozen home runs now for the season. Most on the team. It's 42 RBIs. Most on the team. He's just outside of the top 10 in the American League in RBIs. And he takes strike 3 called right on the outside corner. So it's back-to-back strikeouts for Paredes.
He's got the changeup working. This one seems to fade back just enough over that outside corner. There's that changeup grip. You see that side spin. It just dies at the last second.
Paredes, just in his first year in the big leagues. He looks very fresh-faced as he runs that one up and in on Osuna. The major leagues, actually the 3rd different league for Paredes this season. And he's just a smidge up with that one. Pitched in the Texas League and the Florida State League, and was called up. Made his debut. Called up May 31st. It's a 2-0 pitch. And that one nibbles off the bottom of the strike zone. And he's been used in some unusual spots. A bulk pitcher today, a starting pitcher in a bullpen day. Another guy like Fedko making his debut for the Twins, who was not super heralded coming in. Paredes was an 18th round pick in 2021 out of San Diego State. And so now pitching in his 4th major league game and just his 2nd start. Two to Osuna, and he dribbles that one foul.
Well, you can tell early on that he's got a good changeup. He's been using it a ton just through 17, 18 pitches. I think he's thrown it 6 or 7 times. I think where he has the advantage once again is these Rangers hitters just haven't seen him, but he doesn't have the type of overpowering stuff. You'd love to get a few runs as soon as possible, because just like any team, they're going to have some hard throwers in the bullpen.
On the right side on a play. Stays 2-2 on Osuna. Yeah, I mean, about the time you figure him out, he'll be gone. It's part of the problem on these bullpen days. 2-2 pitch, and Alejandro will chopper to second base. Keyshaw throws him out. 2 up, 2 down. I'll bring up Cody Freeman. 3 games so far this year. He's 4 for 10. He's done a nice job. A little walk in there as well. So Cody, you know, one thing with him, he's going to bring a lot of energy and enthusiasm, and he's going to battle in there. Paredes finds a very top rail of the strike zone there. There's definitely a lot of fight in a guy like Freeman. Crowds him. Cody, last year right at the heart of the Little Rascals from Pomona, California. 4th round pick in 2019 by the Rangers, and he lifts that one high in the air center field. Not going to go anywhere. Buxton making his way to it, and it's a 1-2-3 second inning. So Paredes good. Gore off the 6th pitch, 2nd. McKenzie out for a 3rd inning here in a 3-0 game.
I'll show myself out.
Well, how about Jack Leiter signing autographs tomorrow? Join him out in Whataburger, the Broad Street location in Mansfield. He'll sign for the first 225 fans from 10 to 11, so get there early. Find the location and other details at rangers.com/Whataburger.
All right, well, that'll be fun, and of course, there's a lot going on. A homestand here, 2 teams coming through town. You got the World Cup going on right next door. The Rangers hoping to get back to 500 with a win here today as Gore faces this Twins lineup for a 2nd time now. Austin Martin, leadoff hitter, doubled in the 1st inning. Scored on the home run by Josh Bell, and he takes high. It's 1-1. It's fouled away. Well, the Rangers, generally speaking now, for the better part of close to 3 weeks, have played a lot better baseball. They've looked better offensively. Been more of a threat. There's a strike 3 called right on the inside corner. Boy, he just snuck that fastball in there. Martin had no chance.
Now, when Gore seems to get comfortable, which is usually past the 1st inning, he gets through these streaks where he puts hitters away early and often. Great frame there.
Well, he loves pitching here. It's a great success in this ballpark this year. He runs that a little tight on Buxton. That's a pretty good ratio right there. 24 strikes to 9 misses. And that one is a little low. 2-0. Yeah, the disparity home to road ERA for Gore, pretty striking. A 2.08 here at home. 5.75 on the road. So always a great thing to see him starting here. Two 2-1 to Buxton, and he swings and misses. Well, it was 11 years ago yesterday that guy, Byron Buxton, one of the great players in his generation, made his major league debut and is right across the street. Went hitless in that game, but that was the beginning of pretty electric play from Byron Buxton. He strikes out swinging here, and Gore looks like he's got a pretty good handle on how to deal with him.
Now Buxton has not had great at bats his first two here. There's a good grip on that cutter, just disappears below the bat. And here's the changeup grip. It's just like whatever he is throwing up there, Buxton is waving at, and there he finished him off with 92, the cutter in.
Well, he dumps a strike right in there to Cody Clemens now, who popped out in the first inning. Left on left. Clemens, in fact, the only left-handed batter. Josh Bell, a switch hitter in the lineup as well for Minnesota, but Clemens the only lefty. And he chops it right side of the infield. That's an easy play for Freeman. He throws him out, and that completes a 1-2-3 third inning. So Mackenzie Gore maybe settling in a little bit. Give up that one big swing in the first inning, but a couple of strikeouts here. Martin looking, Buxton swinging. Four-seamer working today for Mackenzie Gore.
A century ago.
Well, come out to the ballpark on Thursday. If you're one of the first 10,000 fans, you'll receive a 2008 sleeveless Ian Kinsler jersey presented by Dairy Max. Get your tickets at Rangers.com. I know fashion is cyclical. When do you think the sleeveless jerseys are going to come back around?
That's a great question. First pitch strike to Nicky Lopez here from Paredes, because I feel like while they were popular then, it had been a long time prior to that.
And it was comfortable, like wearing those jerseys, especially when it was hot outside, playing across the street at the old ballpark.
I would think it would be the type of thing the players would really embrace.
Especially if I was pitching in 100-degree heat, like 95 to 100-degree heat, I would totally want the sleeveless jersey.
The first time you put one on, did it feel a little strange?
So, I mean, that dates back. I think I wore a sleeveless jersey for the first time when I was like 13 years old. Like I remember, like early 90s, I think the Reds wore them, because you know why it sticks out? Because I think Ron Gant went from the Braves to the Reds, and his big old biceps were just exploding out of those things.
An ABS challenge here, as
Calls confirmed. Minnesota's out of challenges.
just called the ball, and now the Twins are out of challenges today. They missed one in the first inning, and that one will wipe out their challenges for the game. Derek Shelton, their first-year manager, they've been very aggressive on challenges this year. 1-1 on Diaz. Diaz, 286 hitter. A little bit of power in that bat as well. And he lines that one out into right field. That's a base hit. So the Rangers have their first hit of the night. Paredes aboard with 1 out in the 3rd inning.
Diaz has had some good at-bats. See that four-seam fastball grip, pretty much middle. Rifles it to the opposite field. There's always that first impression you have of a guy. I remember we were doing a game in spring training when the Rangers were playing Colorado a few years ago. I believe that Diaz hit a home run to center field, also hit another deep fly ball. So obviously the power's in there. It was good to get some production out of the 9-hole.
Here's a swing and a drive deep out to right. It is gone. Well, that was a no-doubter for Jock Peterson. A 2-run shot, and it gets the Rangers right back in it. It's 3-2.
Well, earlier in the season, a 3-0 deficit early in the ball game, it just felt like a ton, but we've talked about the way this lineup's been swinging the bat, and he gets a cutter that looks like a little cement mixer. It stays middle, he gets the head out, and he knows it right off the bat. There's that big swing that we were talking about. If the Rangers can just find a way to cut into that lead just a little bit, they'll be in business here early in the game. You want to put up some runs as soon as possible, and Jock answers that call. Here's another look from the right field foul pole. Man, he has been in a really good way lately, especially at home. Great homestand last time around.
Oh, this ball hit sharply to shortstop. And Kreidler makes the play to retire Young. 2 gone.
Young just continuing to have good at bats. Lined out to right his first time out. This ball wasn't crushed, but still hit hard enough. Good play by Kreidler, going into an abbreviated slide and picking it clean.
So it's Wyatt Langford now. And Wyatt holds off. He thought about it. Strike 1. Jock Peterson on the phone. What's he calling? It's a bullpen phone, is it not?
I would think so. Maybe he's telling one of those guys to jump up there in the right field stands to get him the ball.
Sure. Hey man, is Cal on there? Get him on the phone. Okay. Said his piece. He's done. Oh, that's funny.
I don't know if I've ever seen that before.
I haven't either, but I love
position player on the phone.
This is pop foul back behind the plate. Stays 0-2 on Langford.
Maybe there was like a pregame. You know, like Jock was like, I feel like I'm going deep tonight, and one of the bullpen guys was sitting next to him, so he was just like, hey, get so and so on the phone for me. Hey, remember what I told you before the game?
There's definitely something behind that. This one fouled away again. Langford staying alive. That was great, though. Well, so Jock in playful good spirits, as he should be after hitting a tater like that. That thing was touched, as they say. The 0-2, that's popped into the seats again. Well, and that has been a part of the story for the Rangers, has been a bit of a resurgence in power, especially here at home. Laura was talking about it as we opened the broadcast. Last homestand, or last 6 games at home. The Rangers have seen a little more success here that way. There's a bouncer foul. 0-2. So some of the numbers will go up just a touch. Those last 6 games at home where the numbers have been better, nearly a 300 average, 350 on base, and some power. They've run 5-1. Here's a short hopper to shortstop. And Langford thrown out to win the inning. But a good inning for the Rangers. And if you don't believe me, just pick up the phone. Josh dials 9. Old school reference. Bomb to right field. And then lets his buddies know, hey, did you guys see that? Oh.
Some say be the change. I say keep the change.
Welcome to Jock in the Box.
We've got some first-time baseball fans in Globe Life Field today. Englishman Ethan Payne threw out the first pitch. He's one of the members of the Sidemen, which is the biggest YouTube channel in Europe, consisting of 6 best mates from England. The boys are here as their country is set to take on Croatia on Wednesday across the street, but they wanted to experience some American baseball today. And the Rangers are trying to embrace these World Cup fans with a couple of theme nights and a jersey and scarf giveaway. The first theme night is on Sunday. And guys, if they can even get a fraction of the energy in Globe Life Field that we saw from the Scottish in Fenway on Sunday, I mean, that would be an enormous success.
Yeah, it would. That was. Now, I will say this. I don't know if anybody's going to be able to replicate what happened yesterday at Fenway. That was phenomenal. The energy, the fun, the engagement. Part of it was the ballpark. Part of it was a group of people that they got in there. 1-1, that is outside. 2-1. This was the scene last night at Fenway. They had the Red Sox giveaway unis for the Scottish soccer fans. They set aside 5,000 for them. They were so lubed up and ready to go. Oh my goodness. But listen, we are in town, you know, for the weekend, and they had the big game on Saturday, but they were out in force the entire time. Kilts everywhere, bagpipes. There's a fly ball out to right field, and hands up from them. Oh, we want to land the 4th inning. And they're just a spirited, fun bunch.
Nothing like going to a sporting event and having, you know, playing as a player in front of that type of energy. But even as a fan, if you just showed up to a ballpark to enjoy the game and just witness that type of energy, it just makes it so much more fun.
Yeah. Yeah. It's always a really good reminder. Having fun is okay. It's fun. Josh Bell hit a big home run in the first inning. Let your hair down a little bit. 1-1 to count. I mean, after all, it is just baseball.
Sure. But in baseball, like, if you love the game, you love the game. But you could say that there's not always a ton of energy in the ballpark. Now, Fenway Park, it is definitely one of the best places to enjoy a baseball game. But those, especially in mid-June, right? Like, you go to a playoff type of baseball game or witness a good game with late drama, like, you're going to see some energy. It's going to be a little bit different. But mid-June, typical baseball game, Rangers, Red Sox, you might not expect that energy, but I think everybody got their money's worth last night.
Well, and they're trained to engage that way. 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss, and Bell fooled that time on the changeup. 2 away. I feel like, you know, Americans would, a lot of them say about soccer, well, you know, I don't get it, right? There are a lot of Americans that just don't get soccer. Football, as it's known, and pretty much the rest of the world. I don't get it. Nothing happens. It's boring. It's dull. And you know, you probably, if you're being honest with yourself, you've probably said that once before about the game, whoever you are, and so it is. But if you're from Scotland or you're from the Netherlands or whatever, they don't let it be boring. Like, well, to hell with it. Let's just have a bunch of beers and sing songs and let's have a good time.
Yeah, don't wait for the action. Don't let the action of the game make you wait to have energy. You know, infuse your own energy into it.
Create the fun, the excitement. I'll tell you what, and fans are, you know, a lot of fans all over the country are getting a little exposure to it, a little opportunity to see it. It's pretty. In the clubhouse right now, guys are falling over themselves trying to figure out how to get to the games. They all want to go now badly. As Fetko takes very high, 1-2. I mean, I don't know how long I was down there talking to Pipe Urueta, who's from Colombia, where they take soccer very seriously. He says that's all he did as a kid. He watched soccer. Found a way, and he's dying to get to a game. And of course, Wednesday, the teams will not play. This series will be paused for one day because there will be a soccer game. England and Croatia, just down the street here, a couple hundred yards. The guys like Pipe, they're gonna be around. They're gonna want to go. And he's looking. And I talked to Higgy today, Kyle Gashioka. He bought tickets today.
Really?
Paid full fare. His agent helped get him access to him, but he bought tickets. He's going. And a lot of guys are trying to see if their agent can hook them up. The 1-2. It's low and in. And some of the guys, they live right around here and all, so it's super easy. Of course, 2-2 pitch. Good breaking ball in there. Strike 3 called. It's Fetko looking, another 1-2-3 for Mackenzie Gore. He's retired 10 in a row. Oh, the Dutch were out in full force yesterday, entertaining everybody in the area. Good to see him here at the ball game too.
Well, how about our coverage report tonight, brought to you by American Home Shield. 4 is the key number when you're talking about the Rangers offense. When they score 4 more, they're 28-6. They've won 9 straight games. When they've scored 3 or less, they're 7-30, and they've lost 10 straight. I would almost call this the Raymond report. Wasn't this your big thing last year?
Well,
4 or more.
Kind of was, yeah.
This is what you talked about so frequently, you know, kind of middle of the season on. The Rangers were able to push across 4. They typically won.
Which was so much harder in reality than it sounds. And, you know, spoke to just how great the pitching was last season.
It almost like makes sense when you see a good pitcher's ERA. It's usually, what, 3 to 3.5. Like 4 is good. But that's kind of what you're thinking, a good starting pitcher, and most of them are not going to throw 9 innings these days. So if they can limit the offense to 2 or 3, it's really hard to score off bullpens these days. Which brings the point why we were saying Rangers need to go ahead and get Paredes while he's in the game.
This one lined out to right, and a diving effort in right field by Martin. Takes one away from Brandon Nimmo. What a catch.
It's another reason why it's hard to score runs. Not only is pitching good, but defense is really good. We'd love to have that leadoff guy on, especially possibility of getting him extra bases, but Martin, he's thinking otherwise.
Paredes, big fan. So he's working into the 4th inning. They're hoping for 3, maybe a little more from Paredes, but he has been pretty good. This is here to Berger. Jake struck out in the 2nd inning. He's 0 for 1.
Wasn't there talk on the broadcast last night about how Brandon Nimmo has been one of the unluckiest hitters? Yeah. I guess that's not changing tonight.
Nope, further proof right there. A low liner, you're thinking, well, let's definitely get down. 2-1 now on Jake. It is the way, or one of the ways in which so much of the extra data today helps hitters, is that at least you can feel better about those things that don't go right for you. That one hit sharply in the left field. That's a base hit. So Berger is on here. Keep it rolling.
There's that changeup grip again. This one in the middle. Now when it leaves the bat at 105, this not luck at all. You're expecting that an exit velocity like this is going to produce a hit. And along those lines, if you look at Nimmo's numbers, like his 52% hard hit rate this year as a 33-year-old, that's the best of his career. Now obviously we're not even halfway through yet.
Berger's on the run, bouncer second base. They'll flip it to second, one on to first in time to get the double play. Wow, that is amazing. Put the man in motion. They still get the Twins killing, and that's a 7-pitch inning for Paredes. All right, we are through 4 tonight. What do you know? Twins and Rangers, another close game.
Or at progressive.com/open the house.
Home plate coverage presented by Firestone Complete Auto Care. It's our dirt cam, just hiding down there. Peek in there, you see Elias Diaz. Keyshaw stepping in to face Mackenzie Gore.
It's a cool view. And now, before we even get the inning started, Keyshaw will use his timeout. What a heck of a time with those gloves. They're strappy. So now Gore can come after him, and he put that on the inside corner for what was called a ball, but will be overturned here via ABS to a strike. Good challenge by Diaz. So 0-1 on Keyshaw. Elias has been really good at that. In fact, defensively, he's been rock solid. Gets that one up a little above the zone there. 1-1. He's added a defensive element with that arm behind the plate. He's helped control the running game. Oh, that one right off Keyshaw's lower body. Ouch.
Sounded like a cleat. Oof. Oh, right off the instep. I guess there are worse places to foul a ball off yourself, but they all hurt. That gives us evidence by his reaction.
How long does it take for that to wear off?
A month or two.
He'll feel it for a while, right?
He's definitely going to feel it for about a week. I wouldn't be surprised. There's going to be a bruise there. It's not a place on your shoe where you have any type of padding.
Well, he strikes out swinging here. Well, Gore has now retired 11 straight, and he's starting to pile up the strikeouts.
It's crazy if you just look at a baseball game and a pitcher from inning 1 and the first pitch that he makes until he comes out of the ball game. So many different things can happen. He was not crisp. You know, he gave up an 0-2 double to Austin Martin to lead off the game. Ends up giving up a homer after a walk, and then I mean, he has been pretty outstanding since he struck out Fedko, the batter, after the home run.
Well, the 11 consecutive outs now, 6 of them have been strikeouts, and he's low with that one.
Pretty outstanding might be an understatement. Actually, as good as he's been since then.
Yeah, he's found a groove. The 22 pitch first inning, but since then has found it a whole lot easier. That's low, and he goes 3-0 on Kreitler. Well, and one of the things with Gore has been just a balloon of the pitch count. A lot of times it's prohibited him from going very deep in games. He misses here. That's ball 4. It's only the second time he's gone 3 balls to a hitter, and both times he's ended up walking it. Man on for Alex Jackson, and a moment for us to hear from Choctaw Casinos and Resorts. So here is Alex Jackson, 9th place hitter, a man on. And a foul ball, strike one. So far today, there's been just one ground ball. So immediately when a team gets a base runner, I start thinking about, well, maybe get a ground ball, get a double play. It's the greedy part of my personality. There's a strike. 0-2.
I like where your head's at.
But with all the balls in the air, I don't know. Maybe you could assume that the odds are, with only one ground ball, that they have to hit one. Can't hit everything in the air. Well, they're not going to get a chance. A strikeout looking for Jackson. 8 strikeouts. Man.
Well, he's got everything working now. This is a changeup right here. You check out where it's located. 87, lower part of the strike zone, dotted on the outside corner.
Last 4 outs have been strikeouts. And now the pitch to Martin is taken high for a ball. Martin has doubled and struck out looking. That second time through the order, he struck out 6 of the 9 Twins he faced. And he buries that one. It's why when the Rangers made the deal for McKenzie, there's immediate excitement because he's a first-round pick. He's a guy with good power arm from the left side, great breaking ball, and you just felt like, well, opening day starter and ace for the Nationals last year, he could be really, really good. 2-1, and I think as he continues to get experience and mature and learn the craft with each start, he is only going to get better and better. It has days like today where you're like, man, he's nasty. Runner goes, and that's fouled away. It's 2-2.
I guess the question is, what is the separator from a guy like Gore, who has the stuff to be a top-end starter? I mean, I guess a word that would be synonymous with why you traded for him is upside, right? Like a lefty that's got this type of stuff. Man, yeah, you want to go get him and you want to trade prospects for him and fill in your rotation, put him behind DeGrom, put him behind Evaldi.
Another ball in the air. Short right field. Nemo coming in, and Brandon takes control and makes the catch. And that ends the inning. 2 more strikeouts in the inning for Mackenzie Gore. He's just kind of piling those up. Number 7 was Luke Keyshaw. He goes down swinging on the fastball. Just couldn't catch it. Alex Jackson frozen. Looked at strike 3. 8 strikeouts through 5 innings so far tonight.
Today at AHS.com.
Rangers baseball on RSN is brought to you by Choctaw Casinos and Resorts, the official casino and resort of the Texas Rangers. And by your North Texas Chevy dealers. Chevy drives Texas. Well, a 1-run game here tonight. And we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Paredes continues to toil for Minnesota. It's Freeman, Nicky Lopez, and Elias Diaz, bottom 3 hitters in the lineup tonight. 3-2. Twins got their 3 runs in the 1st inning. Rangers came back for 2 runs in the 3rd. There's a strike, 1-1 on Freeman. It's a bullpen day today for Minnesota. They didn't have your typical scheduled starter, and you see a little activity out there now as they begin to think about what their plan will be after Paredes. Paredes, though, has given them good length already. They have to be tickled with what they've seen tonight from him. 1-2 to Freeman. And that's downstairs. I mentioned earlier that these two teams, for whatever reason, just play a lot of really close games against one another. That's outside. Full count now. So, well, that would be interesting. Young men maybe getting a little bit tired. Up over 50 pitches. See if he puts Freeman on for free. The 3-2 pitch. Freeman fouls him off. Since the start of 2021, these two teams have played 34 games against each other. 25 of the 34 games have been decided by 3 or fewer runs. 14 of the 34 games have been one-run games. So they're used to these close ones. 8th pitch of the at-bat, and that's a ground ball shortstop. Kreidler throws out Freeman, one away. Well, let's hear from Baylor's Scott and White Health. Here's Nicky Lopez. He grounded out in the 3rd inning. Paredes missed badly with that, then grabbed the back of his right leg and then kind of kicked that leg a few times back there by the rubber. Now, I'm intrigued here. Nobody reacted from the Twins side. Fires that one in for a strike. But they're pushing him a little bit further than he's gone. Just the 4th time he's pitched in the major leagues. And that one is out towards center field, drops in, base hit for Lopez. And if he's on, big smile on his face, he's at the tying run in his back pocket.
The Rangers have done a decent amount tonight, at least hitting balls hard or finding a way to get base runners. They haven't had a ton of traffic, but you would think here and there just little things could have undone Paredes. He just has happened to make a pitch when he needs to for the most part. I mean, he was 3 up 3 down in the 2nd inning. Hit by pitch. Josh Young lined out to right in the 1st, and he actually had a good at bat in the 3rd too, right behind the homer in the single. And you could even say last inning, if it weren't for the great diving catch, Brandon Nimmo would have been on, then Jake Berger followed with a single. So it's just the little things here and there. He has definitely done enough and made pitches when he's needed to.
Well, that's another bloop out toward right, coming in for it. Martin, he makes a catch. Pretty good closing speed. 2 gone. Off the bat, I thought that one was ticketed for the outfield grass.
Yeah, same. I was thinking first to third, first to third, first to third, get a good break and go ahead and go. But that was the right call. It hung up there for a while. Martin's got enough speed. We saw him make a diving catch last inning and has the closing speed here to run this one down.
So with 2 outs and the lineup about ready to turn over for a 3rd time, that will do it for Paredes. Boy, Derek Shelton, clap of the hands, pat of the back, because he got a great start out of that young man on a bullpen night here at Globe Life Field, and the Rangers at long last into that bullpen.
Support.
Well, it's time for our The Home Depot working on a win back in the 3rd. John Peterson got a cutter, middle of the plate, and he put it out in the right field seats about 10 rows deep, and then he called all his friends to tell him how far he hit it. Smile on the face of Jock, who wouldn't have that smile if they went deep like that.
Well, a good moment, and also a big part of the reason why Tyler Rogers has come in to pitch now. Boy, that is some nasty sweeper from the lefty. Strike 1 to Jock.
The numbers in 31 games for Rogers. Now the ERA is inflated, and that is kind of on par with this Twins bullpen for the season. They have the highest ERA in Major League Baseball. 5.22 is that number. They also have the second highest batting average against at 262. So this bullpen can be had.
0-2 from Rogers. Runner going. The throw to second is not in time, and that's a stolen base for Lopez. And Nicky's second stolen base now, and he's in scoring position. Okay. So, as you were just mentioning, our Ford leaderboard. How about that? The Twins. Bullpen ERA worse than the Rockies at 5.22. John held up. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Barely held up.
I don't know how he does that. He holds up. His whole body is falling toward the first base dugout, and he knows how to control his at-bats. It may not look the way it's supposed to, but he's consistent with it.
Well, he's worked himself back to a full count.
Foot gets down, hips fly open, falling backwards, ball.
That's how they teach it. Big payoff pitch, and Jock swings and misses. Went out after that sweeper, couldn't get it, and that strikeout of Peterson ends the threat of the 5th inning. Rangers leave a man in scoring position. We've played 5 innings tonight, and it's a 1-run game.
Possibilities.
What's on Tap brought to you by St. Arnold Lawnmower, a beer for everyone. What's on tap is Mackenzie Gore and his stuff tonight. He's gone 5 innings, just given up 2 hits, punched out 8. He's walked to 73 pitches, and he's retired 13 of the last 14 batters. Got roughed up a little bit in the 1st inning, but since then, he has been really good.
He's got Buxton to start things off here in the 6th inning. Buxton, Clemens, and then Royce Lewis in a 3-2 ball game. Let's see Buxton's numbers for the year. He's the reigning American League Player of the Week, named this afternoon, and he pounds that ball high and deep to left. That is gone. 23rd home run of the year for Byron Buxton. And he makes it 4-2 Minnesota.
Well, I mentioned it during his first at bat, the way that he was taking pitches, even though it wasn't the case, because he had an ugly swing to strike out, and the same thing happened in his second at bat in the 3rd. It almost looked like the way he was taking pitches that he was setting Mackenzie Gore up. Well, you figure as good of an athlete, as good of a hitter he is, he was going to make the adjustment at some point, and it didn't take very long.
Well, first pitch strike to Clemens. So big home run for Buxton, makes it a 2-run lead. And it is 1-1. Boy, the Twins have really leaned on the home run lately. It's 23 home runs for Minnesota in the last 11 games now. There's a swing. That's put sharply down to first, but Berger will go to the bag and retire Clemens. 1 away. Buxton, another 20-homer season for him. He's well past that already. 23. The biggest question with Byron Buxton has always been just, can you keep him healthy? So with 23 home runs now for the year, those 23 home runs have come now in 47 games for him. The last 47 games.
He's like the type of guy that just gets on a terror, and he can carry a team. and he doesn't really get talked about, and that's what it surprised me too. It spoke to how good Team USA was in the World Baseball Classic, because for the most part I feel like he would play on and off. Like he wasn't even an everyday starter for Team USA. I'm like, man, if you've got Byron Buxton stashed away on your bench in some of these games, you know that it's speaking to some quality talent.
1-2. Yeah, I mean, he's not a bench player for anybody.
Goes the ball, the catcher's challenging.
So, another ABS challenge. This time, Elias Diaz thought that one made it.
Ball confirmed. Texas has 1 challenge remaining.
He was wrong. It was a ball. So the Rangers lose a challenge. And there is strike 3 called. Lewis goes down looking. That's a 9th strikeout for Mackenzie Gore.
He has gotten his swings and misses today. 97, bottom of the zone, not touching it.
So a lot of things going really well for Mackenzie. Season high 9 strikeouts, not third time he's done that, but 2 home runs today have hurt him. And he's been the Rangers starters. He's been really good at avoiding home runs this year. So it makes tonight a little more confounding that way. In fact, he was 5th in the American League in home runs allowed per 9 innings. And that one is lined into center field. A base hit for Josh Bell, who had the home run early from Minnesota. He's now got a 2-hit night. McKenzie had given up just 6 home runs all year. Only 1 home run allowed since April 19th. Prior to this one tonight.
Now the Twins have been swinging it well since June 1st. 52% of their offensive production has come from the home run. So league average is right around 40%. So that goes to show you the A's are at the top of the list, but that doesn't really count because they've been playing in Vegas.
Surface of the moon. Crazy week in Las Vegas for them. There's a swing and a high pop up into center field, and it's for an easy play for Osuna. The inning is done, but the home run by Buxton adds to the Twins' lead. So a little past that midway point of the ball game, the Rangers find themselves down by 2.
At Globe Life, we apologize.
Well, it's time to vote. Get your Rangers into 2026 All-Star Game in Philadelphia. Vote up to 5 times per day and receive an offer for 25% off select games. Cast your ballot at Rangers.com/vote. If you have not voted yet, get out there and vote. If you have already voted, vote some more.
Just keep voting. What is it, 5 times a day, right?
Yep. This guy, 4th among third basemen, so he needs a little help, a little boost.
Lead things off in the 6th inning. Rangers down by 2. All-star Patriots out there. Young, Langford, Nemo, and a new pitcher this inning from Minnesota. That's a strike, and it's 0-2 as they hand the ball off to Andrew Morris. Rogers faced just the 1 batter.
There's Morris's numbers on the year. Hard thrower, 22 games for him.
So 2 pitch, and that's slashed foul. So here's where Young has been really good this year. His 2 strike hitting has been a massive lift to his overall numbers this year. And he takes strike 3 called. He knew it. 1 down. In the hands of Wyatt Langford. So, you know, a lot of times when you're facing a team, you talk about, well, let's get to that soft underbelly of their bullpen. Right? That's where you have your best chance of doing some damage against this team. Well, it was a bullpen day from Minnesota. There's a chopper down the third baseline. That's deep behind the bag. Lewis's throw is in time, and they get Langford. Boy, not an easy play on either end. And Clemens, it's not textbook, but he got it done.
I think the thing that really helps him here is watch the quick release. He gets it and he gets rid of it. He gives his first baseman a chance. He knows that Langford runs really well. That's just knowing who is in the box and knowing what to do with the baseball before you receive it.
That's a tough one over there first for Clemens.
Yeah,
nicely done.
Give Clemens some credit there. He hung in there with the fast runner bearing down on him.
So here's Brandon Nimmo. Morris goes in strike 1. Rangers 2 runs came in the 3rd inning. The home run by Jock Peterson. That's it. Not a lot else going on. 4 hits today against Mike Paredes, Tyler Rogers, and now Andrew Morris. One and 2 to count. Rangers a game under 500 coming into play. 35 wins, 36 losses, but that had them tied for the final wild card spot in the American League. And that's strike 3 called. Nimmo goes down looking a 1-2-3. 6th inning, so Morris pretty sharp. 6 innings in the books. Rangers happy to be back home here in the Metroplex. Not happy to be trailing 4-2.
Sí, mi amor.
TXU Energy.
Jordan Montgomery threw his 4th live BP this afternoon, and he told us it could have gone a bit better. He was a little wild, but he also said, I had a lot of eyes on me. And guys, take a close look at who's in the box. Those are the coaches, Corey Ragsdale, Brett Hayes, and Travis Jankowski. I asked Skip Schumacher how the staff did, and he said they raked, which maybe wasn't great for Monty, but what's important is that Monty said he felt physically good, and it follows his last live BP, in which he said he felt amazing and pitched really well. So days like this are just part of the process, and it never hurts to boost the confidence of the staff in the process, right?
I think it was the second coach that was pictured there. I looked down during the live BP from where we are up here in the booth, and I was like, I recognize that hitter, but I feel like it's not a hitter currently on the roster. It was Jenko. Can't miss that hair.
I think the comment that they raked was sarcastic. Jenko said he found one off. 1-1.
You get a piece of it, you can rename it.
1-2 the count here on Keyshaw. So that was encouraging to see Monty out there and throwing well. The 1-2 pitch in the dirt. 2-2. Give you a little more depth. Gore, meanwhile, he's been on point, and yet 2 mistakes. I don't know, you know, you say mistakes, which is 2 swings that have really cost him. Couple of home runs. That's fouled off, and it stays 2-2.
That's just one of those games tonight. I guess I'd be curious. We were talking about the home runs, or the runs that were accounted for by home runs an inning or so ago. I wonder the amount of games in the big leagues in the course of the season where every run is accounted for by the homer.
Yeah, like by both teams?
Yes, by both teams. 4-2 game tonight. Every run that's been scored has been via the homer.
What would you think if you were just to randomly throw a number out there?
I mean, 10%?
Yeah, that's funny because that's a number that came to mind for me. It's not an insignificant number, I'll say that much. 2-2. It's a roller down to third base. Young hustles the throw across in time. One away. Can make a little room here for Kia. All right, Kreidler now, he is 0 for 1 with a walk. Fouls that one away for a strike. Of course, the way the game is, evolved in the last, I'd say 20 years anyway, to the reliance on the home run. Whatever the number is, let's say it's somewhere between 10 and 15%. That number has jumped pretty significantly since, let's say, the 80s.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's more. Like I feel like that's right. I don't know. That could be right. Maybe here at Globe Life Field, where there aren't a ton of runs scored, you would think that it might even be more.
See, I don't know. I feel like it would be less here, just because we don't see balls. Well, at least for a lot of portions of these last few years, we haven't seen a lot of balls hit out.
Yep.
Activity out there as Bill Ross warming up. There's a swing and a foul ball by Kreidler. That was 100th pitch of the night for Gore. I'd love to see him get through this inning. Strikes out Kreidler. That's his 10th strikeout. New season high.
And the changeup's really been working. I believe that's the 3rd strikeout on the changeup tonight. He has a really good feel for that pitch. You look at the location too. Like, he's getting some obvious awkward chases and swings.
Now Jackson lines that one out to left field and right to Langford. That completes the 7th inning. And so Mackenzie Gore gives the Rangers 7 innings tonight, but he needs the bats to come alive here in the late innings, down 4-2. Well, it's 4-2. So we'll bring you back in on Wirecam on the opening game of this homestand. It's a week-long homestand. Rangers have these 3 with Minnesota. Wednesday will be a day off. The series will conclude Thursday afternoon. And then over the weekend with San Diego, here we go to the 7th. And Eric Orsi is the new Twins pitcher.
And for Orsi, this could be a good time to get him. Now, if you look back at his last 3 outings, he has given up 2 earned runs in each of those. He entered June with a 3.95 ERA. And his ERA, as you just saw, now sits at 5.06.
This one off the end of the bat, rolled down to first, and that is a very quick first out for Orsi here tonight. Anyway, you were saying, I feel like, yeah, that play might have gotten in the way or something. So Orsi. Well, it's a good idea. Here's Osuna. And he'll take a strike. I feel like, and maybe there's a pretty simple way to illustrate it with numbers. I feel like there are days with the Rangers pretty good offensively. Last night was a good night. Boston, they look pretty good. Overall, it's just a nice offensive approach. There's action, activity, movement, runs. And then there are nights like tonight where you're like, geez Louise, what is going on? Boy, you just can't seem to get the plane off the ground.
I think it's like just looking down at your scorecard, the innings where you have at least 5 hitters hit. I feel like when the Rangers, probably any offense, when they're just struggling to have traffic, as Skip Schumacher talks about, or get things going, it's the innings where it's 3 up, 3 down, where there's just 4 hitters that come to the plate. When you have 5 or more, feel like you're in business, and frequently throughout the game.
Yeah, I agree. There's a strikeout of Osuna. 2 gone. Rangers are 1 for 7 tonight when they get runners on base. That has been certainly a big part of the story this year at times.
Do you think that's been more of the story? I feel like in the past we always talk about runners in scoring position, but I've heard you talk more about runners on base here frequently.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're both obviously rough this year, but as you mentioned, Schumacher talks a lot about traffic, and so a lot of times it's just simply getting a man on. And can they do something? Can they move him? Can they get him in? Whatever. And so many times the answer to that question is no, not really. There's a strike. 0-2 to Freeman. So Orzi's come in here. He got a ground out on the first pitch to Berger, then struck out Osuna. And he's trying to get in and out of this game without anybody even noticing. Here's the 0-2, and a little tapper out in front of the plate. And that one is picked up by Jackson. Good throw in time to get Freeman, and it ends the inning. An 8-pitch, 7th inning for Orzi. We head to the 8th tonight. It's 4-2.
Comes off, gets that foot just back on there. Orzi threw 8 pitches, all for strikes. Makes quick work of the.
When you bundle with us.
Hey, doctor, maybe we should regroup at the shrubbery.
Well, we go to the top of the 8th here. Minnesota with a 4-2 lead. Rangers trying to figure out a way to score some runs, but first they're going to try to keep Minnesota off the board again. And our standard insurance call to the bullpen will be Peyton Gray. 16 games for him this season. There's a look at what he's done. Keeps those walk numbers low. The ERA just over 4. The league's hitting .236 against him. Change-up, 4-seamer slider for the right-hander.
His first pitch lined right down to third, and Young is there for the out. Martin retired, 1 away.
Hard hit baseball. We talked about Martin and his exit velocity in the first inning. He's not a guy that's going to wow you with those numbers. 99 off the bat, but he does his job for a leadoff hitter. He just tries to find barrels.
First pitch strike here to Byron Buxton, who homered in the 6th inning. 23 home runs now for Buxton, 1 off the league lead. And he takes low, 1-1. And home run by Buxton in the 6th inning was the 8th in his career against the Rangers. 1-2 the count. They're saying, okay, 8. It's 8 in 36 games. They're the slugging numbers in the American League, behind only Alvarez and Ben Rice. It's a little tight, 2-2. But I was looking earlier, talking about the need for him to to stay healthy. How many times in his career do you think he has played more than 102 games in a season?
You said he made his Major League debut 11 years ago.
2015.
So he has played more than 102 games in a season 4 times.
Fly ball here, center field. And Osuna finds his way to it, and that is the second out of the inning. No, he's only done it twice.
Really?
Yep. In his 3rd year in the big leagues, 2017, he played 140 games. What a great year he had. He had a WAR of 5 that year. He didn't have the big power numbers, but he was so good in the outfield. And then last year played in 126 games. Those are his 2 biggest years. 126 games, that's the 2nd most he's ever played in a season. And the only other year in which he played triple-digit number of games, 102 games in 2024. Everything else, you're talking 28 games, 46 games, 39 games, 92 games. Like, when we say that it's been difficult keeping him on the field, it's been really, really hard over the years.
I thought I was going to shoot low, just guessing 4. And he's been, the subject of a lot of trade rumors, especially in the last year or 2. You would think that that really might happen if he's able to stay healthy.
Well, Clemens strikes out swinging. Gray, how about a 1-2-3 for him? The Rangers back in town to get a homestand. Some fun to get things started. Rangers and Twins, 2 teams relocated from Washington, D.C. head-to-head here tonight at 4-2.
In baseball, the numbers.
Couple of changes here for Minnesota. Clemens moves over to second base now. He had been at first, and so Royce Lewis goes over to first base, switching to the opposite side of the infield. He was at third, and now at third base is Brooks Lee. You're asking a little bit of a guy. You play a big portion of the game at third base and then finish it over at first. Very different positions as we get going here in the 8th inning. Nicky Lopez, Elias Diaz, and then back to the leadoff man, Jock Peterson. Well, a bullpen day. The starting pitcher today was Mike Paredes, went 4 2/3 and did a nice job. Allowed a couple of runs on 4 hits. The rest of the bullpen since then has come in 3 different relievers to retire 7 straight Rangers. So including Orsi last inning with a 1-2-3. Josh Smith has come out of that on deck circle. Little roller right side. Clemens over to Lewis. 1 away. We have time here for Standard Insurance.
Did you just pay your insurance bill and say to yourself, I need to save money? Call, come by, or click to save hundreds, if not thousands.
Don't delay, call Standard today.
Well, Smitty just activated today and enters the game now in the 8th inning as a pinch hitter for Elias Diaz. Smith in there at the left side. Missed the last 37 games for a variety of maladies. This one has popped up back behind the plate. Jackson flips aside the mask and he makes the catch, and it's a short plate appearance for Josh Smith. Two away. Bring up Jock Peterson. Smith activated today with Corey Seager going to the 7-day concussion list. I guess it's really the injured list for concussion, which allows you to go for 7 days. That's backdated. Jock Peterson has the home run today, 1 for 2, also hit by a pitch. And he hits that one up the middle. That's a base hit. So Jock continues to swing it well. And that allows the Rangers to get the tying run to the plate.
He's just incredibly comfortable right now. It's like a splitty that just hung up the top of the strike zone. A little bit of rollover there, but you see where the shortstop and the second baseman are playing. Splits down the middle.
So he is on for Josh Young, and now looks like Jackson will head out there. They're going to try and slow things down here a minute. They might even make a change. Shelton headed out to the mound, and he signals, so they will make the move for the right-hander Gomez. So that is it for Orsi. Rangers have the tying run coming to the plate in the 8th in a 4-2 game.
Vogue.
All right, bottom of the 8th inning. Tying run coming to the plate for the Rangers. And the 4th reliever behind their reliever starter, Yandris Gomez, is on.
There's what he's done in 28 games this season. 3 of 11 inherited runners have scored. ERA right about 4, 17 walks, 33 strikeouts.
First pitch to Young, foul away for strike 1.
And even though Josh Young isn't a guy that just tries to yank the ball, I mean, this would be a good time if he gets under one. Gomez is a guy that he's one of the league leaders in terms of allowing fly balls to the pull side, which we know that those are likely to end up as homers. So, you know, Young, a guy that typically his slot is more of that right center field Rangers bullpen, but if he gets a breaking ball up in the zone, who knows?
Well, let's see. 1-1 in the air, center field. Buxton is there, and that does it. Rangers come up empty in the 8th. Got the man on, couldn't get him in. Gomez gets the job done. 9th inning coming up here at Globe Life Field. Well, it's a 4-2 ball game, 9th inning, and you see Kyle Higashioka back behind the plate. He is the new catcher for the Rangers. Brand new battery, in fact, is the 33-year-old Joe Ross making his Rangers season debut.
Well, there's what he's done across 9 major league seasons: Washington, Milwaukee, Philadelphia, and Arizona, some of his previous destinations. Sinker, split finger, slider, and four-seamer is what he'll feature.
It's Royce Lewis to start things off. And big Josh Bell. And Lewis goes after the first pitch, pops it up left side of the infield. And Young takes care of it, one away. Well, Josh Bell, always news when he swings through town with whatever team. To Jesuit. He was the Gatorade Texas Player of the Year in high school back in 2011. First pitch, he swings at it and pops it foul back behind the plate. We've seen him over the years with so many different clubs when he comes through town. Always happy to be back. Well, that one got in on his hands. A little bloop out near second base. Lopez. Love that one. 2 away. Okay, Joe Ross, he gets infield pop-ups is what he does. Nice job.
It's got to feel pretty good, having not stepped on a major league mound very much, and just dialing up 97.
Yeah. That goes to work against the rookie Kyler Fedko, and that's fouled off for a strike. Kid making his major league debut tonight in left field for Minnesota, and he's 0 for 3 so far. A couple of strikeouts and a fly out to center. Kind of a weird night for an outfielder making his debut, because he hadn't caught a ball out in left field. Precious little activity out there for him. So kind of a weird night.
The beauty of baseball. I think we were in St. Louis a few weeks ago, and Nicky Lopez got 9 balls hit to him, and I think like 16 over the course of 2 games.
Speaking of Lopez, in the hole it's short. The throw to first in time. They get Fedko very close play at first, and it completes a 5-pitch inning for Joe Ross. But Shelton saying, nothing to challenge there.
Nicky Lopez flashing that leather, going into the hole, showing that arm strength across the field. Rangers going to try to get some runs and tie this up or win it. Great pick by Berger.
Us with more main character energy than Kevin Hart.
Well, tomorrow the Rangers will continue this series with the Twins tomorrow and Thursday. No mid-series. We have the mid-series off day due to that World Cup match Wednesday between England and Croatia. But you can get your tickets right now at Rangers.com. Youngsters getting in the spirit of things, trying to create some energy in the ballpark here as Wyatt Langford will lead it off in the 9th. Gomez got that final out last inning, the fly ball off the bat of Josh Young. He's back out of the 9th in a 4-2 game. And he just misses there. It's 1-1. And we learned before the ball game today, the Twins have had 11 different pitchers save a game this year. It's kind of crazy. That is a franchise record for them. 1 and 2 for Langford. And keep in mind, they've had 11 different guys save a game this year, and it's mid-June. Because they really don't know who to go to night after night. They've been searching for some stability there. It's off the plate. 2 and 2.
And off the top of my head, I can't. How many guys are in the bullpen? 8. And there 11 guys have reported a save.
Yeah. It's hard to do. 2-2. And that is outside. They've used a lot of different pitchers. I guess really what you have to look at is who hasn't saved one out of that bullpen. 3-2, little tapper, back out near the mound. Gomez makes the play, one gone in the ninth. Bring up Brandon Nimmo. Gomez has saved the most of those 11 pitchers. He has 5 saves this year. And by pretty much any objective measure, he has been their best reliever. He was low here to Nimmo, and apparently there was a violation before the pitch. He didn't get it off in time, so it's actually ball 1 to Brandon. Rangers need a base runner. And Nimmo lifts it foul. 1-1 the count. Tomorrow, the Rangers expect to give the ball to Kumar Rocker. Zebby Matthews, right-hander, should be the starter for Minnesota. 1, and that one is on the ground. Shortstop, backhand stop. Crankler, his long throw is in time. So the Rangers are down to their final out. Comes Jake Berger. Gomez puts that one right on the outside corner. Strike 1. Gomez from Venezuela. He's 26 years old. He also has a save this year for Tampa Bay. How about that? So you've got 11 pitchers who have saved a game for you, and one of your pitchers has even saved a game for somebody else.
And just looking at his game logs and just the way that he's recorded saves, like the one that he recorded for Tampa was April 18th. Got his first save on May 10th for the Twins. And just looking at his ERA numbers and the way that they've fluctuated, he was struggling. But then he has 3 saves here in June for the Twins. So that's where I guess it looks like he has become their primary guy.
Call the field a strike, the batter challenging.
ABS challenge here by Berger, and I think, with 2 outs in the 9th inning, he figured why not, but I don't think that's going to work out real well. It's a strike. So Rangers out of challenges the rest of the way. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Gomez fires. There's a swing and a miss, and that strikeout ends the ball game. Tough one for the Rangers tonight. Just really didn't show much with the bats. Gomez picks up his 6th save for Minnesota. 4-2 the final score. Rangers drop the opener of this series. Let's take a break. We'll come back and wrap it up for you here in just a moment.